Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Open Your Eyes to the Universe. I'm Gabrielle Martin, your host for this evening. For those of you who don't know, Open Your Eyes to the Universe is a series of contemporary talks, conversations, open-eyed meditations, and interviews with people who inspire and uplift others by sharing their wisdom, sharing their insights and experiences with us to co-create a better world. And as we begin tonight in the spirit of reconciliation, the Youniverse team acknowledges the traditional custodians of the country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respect to the elders past and present, and we extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. And I'd also like to acknowledge and respect the wise elder within us all and the collective wisdom of all those here this evening. A very warm welcome. Now, last month, you might remember, we were talking with Maria Lourdes-Esaneta, a certified Gallup strengths coach, and she was considering that strengths are not just what's good about you, but actually strengths are actually you. They're the best of you. Or put in another way, strengths are like a source of magical spiritual power within you. And you might recall that she focused firstly on unlocking the power of your strengths, and then secondly on embracing your inner power and how meditation helps in attaining this. I recall we sent you by email, a PowerPoint presentation, and I know many of you were keen to get it, so I hope you've taken the opportunity to revise and practice some of her key messages. I think too you'll know that we skipped the June episode, and our apologies for that, but whilst we missed you, we did have Sister Janti with us in Australia, and she was visiting 4 cities in Australia: Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, and Brisbane. Sister Janti is the additional administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris, the world's largest spiritual organisation to be led by women. And she's a spiritual teacher. That's how she describes herself, although I often think of her as a contemporary yogini. She's a much sought-after international public speaker, an author, a visionary leader guided by spiritual values and principles. And in these critical times in which humanity is facing up to the challenges of change, her message invites each of us to embody a positive vision of a brighter world. Her spiritual knowledge, her inner peace and radiant love have inspired millions across the globe to empower themselves to make changes to their lives. And so it was a huge pleasure and honour, actually, to have her here with us in Australia, where she toured 4 of our cities, as I mentioned earlier. And I sincerely hope that you managed to meet her in person at one of the many public program opportunities. If you didn't catch her, Jan's going to put in the chat box a link to an interview with Dr. Meredith Lake from Soul Search on ABC Radio National. And if you missed her Sydney program titled Build Inner Resilience, Empower Your Life, you can catch it on the link that Jan has just put in the chat box. Her Canberra program, Women's Leadership in Troubled Times, a dialogue across cultures and religions, was a fantastic little program there in Canberra, and it was with Reverend Dr. Stephanie Dowick, Professor Karima Lakir, the head of Arabic and Islamic Studies at the ANU, Professor Kim Rubenstein, University of Canberra, and Jan has placed the link to this video also in the chat box. And I might mention too, the Canberra one featured soprano Heather Lee, so it was a really magical evening. Tonight, we're in the company of another delightful person, Amanda Quinn, the Managing Director of Eternity Inc. Publishing House. Amanda may be known to some of you, but for those of you who don't know her, she started her journey with meditation and spirituality at 21 years of age. Now, I'm not going to date her and tell you what year that was, but she was just a very young 21-year-old young adult at the time when she started her meditation journey. And for Amanda, the inner world of spirituality continues to inspire her and provides deeper learning daily. In addition, Amanda is a practicing clinical nutritionist. So that's a really powerful combination, practicing clinical nutritionist and a meditation practitioner. So Eternity Inc. is the official publishing house for the Brahma Kumaris in Australia. And they take an active interest in creating inspirational books, CDs, and meditation aids that address people's needs for positivity and empowerment. Eternity Inc. offers books, CDs, MP3s, cards, posters, gifts, t-shirts, and so on. Things that really promote peace of mind, calmness, and personal growth. Guided meditations for deep relaxation for beginners and experienced meditators. And the topics, well, they're wide-ranging. They're all about the inner journey, and they include meditation and health, coping with stress, positive thinking, anger management, values, spiritual guidance, meditation for children, and much more. So tonight, we're going to take a look at the spiritual resources that enhance your inner journey, the books for everyone, the music, the meditation commentaries, the affirmation cards, and more. And we're with Amanda. So Amanda, a very warm welcome to Youniverse. It's really lovely to have you with us this evening. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, Gabrielle. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
I know we're in for a good conversation, and I know a lot of people have a lot of curiosity about Eternity Inc. and have already taken a lot of benefit too from the products that you provide. So it's a great opportunity for us to have a little bit of a chat about the extent of the range of Eternity Inc., the background, the rich resource that it is, and any little quirky stories you've got to offer. But to start with, what inspired Eternity Inc. to be set up? And, what was its purpose? And for that matter, why spiritual books and resources?
Okay, so thank you. Well, Eternity Inc. Has gone through many different lives, if you like. As you mentioned, it is the publisher for the Brahma Kumaris Australia. It's both a publisher and a distributor as well. Eternity Inc. was set up before my time, by the way, in the 80s, under a different name at that time. So it's gone through a few transformations. I got involved in the 90s when we were operating from the back of a garage at one of the meditation centers. So
Wow.
So it was a small concern, and we had a lot of products, stuffed up in the rafters in the garage and everywhere. So we started off with a handful of products, and then from there we expanded. We ended up getting a warehouse and moving the warehouse, and from there we expanded from what was probably then maybe a dozen products to a few hundred products. So it really opened the doors for a lot of authors and creators to get involved and offer their talents.
A small beginning, and into a big warehouse situation, from small number of resources to over 100 products. That's pretty amazing. That kind of growth.
So the Brahma Kumaris are a worldwide organization, and it's a lifelong learning. So they teach a type of meditation, a spiritual meditation. So it's very much based around discovering our spirituality and reaching our potential through that discovery and personal change. But the beauty from the publishing house perspective is that being a worldwide organization and being lifelong learning, we have a lot of very experienced students and teachers and who can create products. And so the products are all created by practitioners of Brahma Kumari's meditation and philosophy. And they are created from many different perspectives, from many different cultural backgrounds. So that's when we changed from being just a publisher to being a distributor, so that it opened up so that we could import products from, Brahma Kumari's centers around the globe.
Wow. So it was never really a question about it being spiritual books and resources. It was always going to be that, because it's under the auspices of the Brahma Kumaris. Is that it?
That's right. So the Brahma Kumaris in Australia is registered as an educational organisation, And
Mhm.
so these are used as teaching resources, and they really support the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris. Yeah, so we have courses that offer the whole course. So there's one book called New Beginnings that in one book there's the beginners, intermediate and advanced courses offered all in one, which is pretty amazing. And then you spend the rest of your life studying that one little book. But yeah, so they are spiritual resources to teach to support the philosophy and teachings. Yeah.
So before we start to move into the kind of resources that you've that Eternity Inc. offers, I'm fascinated by the name Eternity Inc. Tell us
Okay.
about that. Yeah, it's a great name. Tell us about that.
So the the um, the staff that we had at that time, we went through a long process actually to come up with that name, as you can imagine. And I knew you were going to ask me that question. I should have jogged your memory because we're talking quite a while ago. So, but it was a long process, and because of the spiritual side of things, obviously, we do talk about things in esoteric things like eternity and eternal and all that sort of thing. So somehow it came out of that, and we somehow as a group managed to agree on the name, and obviously Inc is with a K, so it's Eternity Inc. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. A lovely play on words, isn't it? Ink as in
Yeah, yeah.
press, print, and so on. But this aspect of eternity. So, it suggests, doesn't it? It suggests spirituality, but it suggests obviously longevity. But those deeper aspects, you're getting a publishing house that isn't mainstream, isn't necessarily what's in popular culture, but you're getting a very specialized publishing house in Eternity Inc. I get that sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And, as I mentioned before, lifelong learning, and that is, they are books that the resources or commentaries that you can delve into. But as I said, you can take one book and you can study that over and over again.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So that depth and that subtlety of spirituality, in a world where with everything's physical and external, and just to explore the inner world, which is it's a huge inner world, but to meditate and to delve into subtle matters it's a great thing, but it's something that takes a bit of time to really get into.
Yeah, and that concept of lifelong learning in the 80s wasn't really that strong. And, and in fact, a lot of things are just, learn it in 30 minutes or, half a semester or something like that. But to have something that's really going into a lifelong learning process and the layers of that, the depth of it, I mean, it suggests the authors bring that to their creations. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah, because there's some core philosophies there, and then the authors really expand on those and bring those to life, and how to put those into practice so that we can change ourselves, so that we can overcome obstacles, so that we can really see ourselves and see our strengths and things that we can overcome, so that we can continue to improve ourselves and our relationships and our lives and our contributions. Yeah. So if I think, when I started back, like you mentioned, I was 21, so many
Mm.
moons ago. And if I sometimes I think, how would I be if I hadn't had meditation in my life as a tool? And it's such a strong and powerful and stabilizing tool, that is there, for anyone who practices it like this on a daily basis. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, to be able to practice it on a daily basis, we need resources, don't we? We need prompts. We need a spiritual toolkit in a way. And some of the resources all of the resources that are offered at Eternity Inc. form part of a spiritual toolkit, I guess. And so let's start tracking through some of those things. what are the resources? Tell us about the diversity of the range of the products at Eternity Inc. that you provide.
Okay, so there are definitely, one of our main offerings are the guided meditations. When I first started, these were in cassette format.
Wow.
in the 90s, sorry. So
You might have
and
to
obviously
explain
went to
what a cassette
CD.
is.
Yeah. We'll move on from that. It's okay. But CDs are still there, so we do still have some CDs, but a lot of them have transitioned out, and we have them now in MP3 format, and also on streaming platforms like Spotify, to make them easily accessible. But yeah, so one of the offerings is the guided commentaries, and then of course we have a variety of books. So books that people can really delve into the depths of spirituality and their spiritual self, even their connection with a higher source or supreme. We say supreme being. Some people say God, or different terms, but there are books to really delve into that. Books where you can just tap into for daily inspiration, different ways of thinking. We have a lot of different affirmation cards, powers cards that can be used on a daily basis. We do have a few games as well. So we do definitely, provide resources for all age groups. So children and adults. So we have some games. We have a wonderful game, Snakes and Ladders of Life, which is actually a very ancient game. There's some debate about whether it originated in India or China, but it was a very ancient game either way in those regions to teach values centuries ago. So we all know Snakes and Ladders from when we were kids, but so this is a take on the ancient one, which teaches virtues and values. And so, for example, if you go down a snake, there's a move where you get to select a card, and that card gives you options of how to overcome the vice that particular snake is. So all the snakes represent negativity, and then there's tools within the game that you can choose to overcome them. It's a very good teaching aid for kids. It's a very fun game to play. And we have some jigsaws for like kids just sort of with meditation symbols and that, just to promote that calmness. And what else do we have? We have posters as well. We have a range of posters, meditation posters. Yeah.
And t-shirts.
We do some t-shirts as well. We do some really nice cotton t-shirts with positive slogans. So yeah, one of my favorite that I have all the colors in is the No Problem t-shirt. So yeah, we have some good t-shirts for winter actually. Thanks, Gabrielle. But yeah.
Well, actually, we were just talking about them the other day because we were looking at the Mind Body Spirit Festival, and the Brahma Kumaris have stalls there where your products are available. So anyone listening, get along to a Mind Body Spirit Festival and you'll certainly see a good range of Eternity Inc. Resources. But the t-shirts came up because they're so hugely popular. I meditate, or they've got these wonderful slogans on them that people just gravitate to. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, my dad loves them. He's always asking me, can you give me another t-shirt? Yeah.
They're great gifts, but they're good gifts.
Yeah.
It's really redeeming, isn't it, and uplifting to see someone on a street wearing a positive t-shirt, positive message.
And I actually visited my parents last week, and my dad was meditating in his t-shirt. I did say to him that I think you're doing a little bit more sleep than meditation, but anyway, he
Good on you. That Snakes and Ladders game, it almost sounds like it's the kind of thing adults could play as well as children.
Yeah, definitely. And it also comes with this little pad where you can collect the values or the virtues that you gain along the way. So it has this catchphrase for kids that it's there's no winners or losers, because actually if you lose, you may end up winning because you end up with more values or virtues. Maybe it's a bit hard to visualize, but you might have to, if you want to know, you might have to buy one to see. But it's a good game, and
It's a
I've
good game.
played it
Yeah.
many times. Yeah.
I'm really fascinated about some of these MP3s and CDs that you offer, the meditation commentaries. And I'm not sure that people would really understand what a meditation commentary is. Can you tell us a little bit about what a meditation commentary is and the different kinds of meditation commentaries that Eternity Inc. provides?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. So we do have a range. So say if someone was a beginner to meditation, they would probably start with some of the guided commentaries in the positive thinking or relaxation range. And by guided commentaries, what I mean is they have spoken words. So there's meditation music played, and when these are actually recorded, all of these CDs are created by experienced meditation teachers. So they're created in a state of meditation. Along with the meditation music is also created by musicians who are meditators. So they have the background music, and then they have a guided commentary. And the idea is for to follow the thoughts of the commentary. And often a lot of the ones we have also are very visual, so they create imagery which people can dwell on, which helps to relax the mind and bring ourselves into the present and let go of other thoughts. So they're like a track for the mind to follow, to get to a point. And the main thing with meditation when starting out always is to create a state of being here and being relaxed. And that's where it all starts. And that's what the commentaries help to do. And then you will find that, you learn many things about yourselves and your thoughts and the thoughts that come up, which is a wonderful part of meditation and a challenging part of meditation, but absolute discovery. For experienced meditators or for people who want to go deeper into the spiritual side, we definitely have those types of guided commentaries, which, for example, talk a lot about, they guide our thoughts towards ourselves as a spiritual being and towards connecting with a higher being, our higher self and a higher being, and really exploring the extent of our spiritual potential, if you like.
So different levels, relaxation, affirmations, going a bit deeper, connecting with yourself in a silent space, the inner journey, I guess, the inner being, and then going very deep or very high, depending on which way you're looking at it, but connecting with the divine.
Yeah, so different things, and I find for myself I need different things at different times. So
Sure.
Sometimes you need something a bit lighter, put you in the right frame of mind or create that energy, and sometimes you're really in the mood to go much deeper and really go into a much more subtle experience. So the commentaries help to introduce that type of thinking, to learn that type of thinking. And then the idea is that then you can meditate with or without guided commentaries. So you can sit and listen to your own thoughts and guide your own thoughts and, really go into that experience on your own.
So we're not actually trying to blank our mind when we meditate. We're using our thought energy and transforming or transforming our thoughts for them to be what we want them to be, elevated. Is that what you're saying here?
Yeah, that's right. And it's meditation's a whole process of discovering the self, of seeing the self. So it's like seeing our body. We can't actually see our body. We can't see our face. So we need a mirror. And so meditation's kind of like that. It provides that mirror, that input, so that we can start to see ourself. And so it's a starting point. for the guided commentaries. So you might sit, you might put on a guided commentary, it'll go for 10 minutes, and then you sit for another 10 minutes after that and dwell more on those thoughts, you know, that you've been introduced to, and you'll start to see yourself more and more and experience the values of the self and the qualities of the self, the energy of self. You know, in that experience, you'll also come up with negative thoughts or wandering mind, and that's all part of the process, because they're all things to be acknowledged and accepted.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. And your meditation commentaries, I guess they differ in time, like some short, some longer. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's right. So they range from probably like 3 minutes to 20 minutes to not really half an hour. But as I said, you can continue on yourself, especially if you're meditating, you know, you get in the zone, you will want to continue on.
Yeah. Should we have a go? Should we play one? What do you suggest?
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I think what did we talk about? Was it from Peace of Mind? Was it the commentary from Peace of Mind?
That sounds like a good idea.
That's a good idea. Yes, that's it. So it's Who Am I? So this is actually Peace of Mind is one of our very, very you know, long-standing favorite meditation albums. We have printed this over and over and over again. Of course, it's an MP3 now, but so it's got 5 different meditation commentaries on it. This is one of them, Who Am I? And so prepare yourself. It's very calming. It really relaxes, it lets you get relaxed into your mind and creates the visuals to take you away. So, and I think it's about 12 minutes from memory. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on that journey then. What do we need to do,
Thank
Amanda?
you.
Just sit comfortably, or?
Yeah. So usually you use, because, okay, so I forgot to mention that you can meditate with your eyes open or closed. If you were to go and do a course with the Brahma Kumaris, they would teach you how to meditate with your eyes open, which is great. It's a very valuable way to be able to meditate, and you can stay very much in the present with your eyes open. So if you can, keep your eyes open. If not, eyes closed or gently resting on the table or something in front of you. We often use a picture, like an image, a meditation image, to rest our eyes on, but really just somewhere to rest your eyes. Sit comfortably on the floor, in a chair, however you're comfortable. Not ideally not lying down, because you will get relaxed and you may fall asleep like my dad. So yeah, and then just listen to Gabrielle will play the commentary, and just listen to the commentary and let your mind follow the thoughts and that are given on the commentary, and take you away. If you find your mind wanders, just let it go and continue on to bring it back to the commentary.
Sounds lovely, Amanda. Let's have a go.
Thank you.
Who am I? Am I just this body? When I look into a mirror, what am I looking at? Is that me? Is there more to me than my physical image? My body is very real. I'm aware of its shape and size, its appearance, its state of health, how it feels sitting in this chair. But who am I? When I introduce myself to others, how do I let them know who I am? I may start with my name, my occupation, my relationships. my age, my address, and other descriptions about my life. But these are all physical things. These are all external descriptions of me. Is there more to me than this? Who am I? As I think about my identity, I am aware of my memories, my experiences in life, the things I have done and the things that have been done to me, the people who have affected me, and the places and events that have influenced me. These are all part of my inner world, my inner identity. All my experiences and interactions have shaped my personality and give rise to my thoughts and feelings. I ask myself, is there still a deeper aspect to my identity? Is there an eternal part of me that is unaffected by relationships and the world around me? What is my spiritual identity? Who am I? My spiritual identity, my eternal identity is soul. I am a soul, a being of energy. My appearance is like a tiny star, a radiant being of pure energy. A spiritual being giving life to this physical body. I imagine how I would look separate from my body. I picture myself as a being of light, like a star, a tiny star, like the stars in the night sky. The stars in the sky are enormous worlds, so far away from us that they seem like tiny sparkling points in the night sky. There is an enormous world that makes up who I am, but that is all contained within a tiny, tiny star. I imagine myself free from all the influences of my daily life for a moment, floating, free as a star, pure, vibrant, radiant energy. Away from the influences of my life, who am I? I am a being of peace. When I look at the stars in the night sky, I feel a sense of peace and tranquility. My spiritual identity is soul, and the nature of soul is peace. Not just a momentary absence of disturbances, but a very real and permanent peace. Within my nature of peace, I also find love. Not the temporary love of passing phases, but a deep sense of self-respect and compassion. I reconnect with my spiritual identity, with my true nature of peace and love. When I forget who I really am, when I'm caught up in the world and its events, the roles and responsibilities that make up my daily life, then from time to time I'm separated from my true self, and I forget my nature of peace and love. I will remember consciously that I am a spiritual being. This is my real identity, my eternal identity. It feels good to be at peace. The more I get to know my spiritual self in solitude, the more I can be myself when there are others around. The more I appreciate who I am, the easier it is to see others for who they are. Each one of us a unique being. Each one of us worthy of being alive. Each of us a spiritual being doing our best to face the challenges of life in the physical world. I will come again soon to this inner solitude and my true identity. Gently, I sense that I'm sitting inside this body. My energy returns, and I know who I am.
Well, Amanda, these commentaries certainly work, don't they? Just in that 12 minutes, time certainly slowed down, and I could feel myself moving into that lovely place of solitude, very soothing space. So this is the power of the guided commentaries, yes?
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, just what a beautiful gift to give to ourselves. 12 minutes, 12
Yeah,
minutes.
isn't
And yeah, just yeah, I love it. I think, sometimes when days are hectic and you crazily you don't have time to sit down for 12 minutes or 10 minutes, but I find even not even going into it any more than just um, for a few seconds visualizing a point of light behind my, sort of where the third eye behind there, and just visualizing that, it just brings all the energy back into focus just for a few seconds. And it's a powerful tool, meditation. So
it?
for many things, not just for focus, but yeah.
Yeah, so many benefits, isn't it? But the need now in a world of so much noise to be able to anchor ourselves and go within and feel that silence. It's so recharging. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I started meditating, it wasn't such a common thing, but now
Mm.
it's almost like, who doesn't meditate? So, and there's many different types of meditation you can do. This is one of them that has a more spiritual focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it's I think with the understanding of emotional intelligence, EQ, and so on, it's hand in hand, isn't it? The quality of my life is connected to or quality of life and meditation go hand in hand. The quality of my life is deeply influenced by my ability to meditate and to be able to go into that silent space and, as you say, just really recharge, and then come
Yeah,
back out again, of
yeah,
course, and play my role in the world. Yeah.
yeah. And because we're going through such, difficult times in Australia, in the world for a few years now, and it's just to have those resources that you can rely on. There's a lot of things. I mean, I work in nutrition, and so I know, sometimes when people can't get the things that they need, it's very difficult. But at least with meditation, it's something I can rely on, that I can fall back on to give me the strength to get through, different things. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Mm. Before we move into the book area, I just wanted to mention that MP3s, I love the background music, and I know it's been specifically composed by people who meditate, do Raj Yoga meditation, and they're musicians as well. But Eternity Inc. offers MP3s of instrumental relaxation music as well as guided commentaries. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So for meditation, you can also just use the meditation music. You can just have silence, but music creates an atmosphere, so it puts you in that right frame of mind. So yeah, we do just have some with just quite a few actually, just the meditation music that you can have on for meditation, or you can have on in your work, or in your house, just to create a nice atmosphere. But it does help to focus, to have something when you're meditating. So whether the guided commentaries or just to have that type of meditation music on. We do also have spiritual songs. So by spiritual, I mean that they're very uplifting songs, and they create a very good energy. They create a happy state of mind, and they remind you of uplifting concepts. So yeah, one of the very popular albums is by Lucinda Drayton, 100,000 Angels, which we've got as an MP3. And yeah, those type of songs can even serve as a meditation. You might want to just sit down and listen to an uplifting song, and that is your meditation.
Wow. Yeah, so much variety. And equally with your books, and how do you guide people on what book to choose? Because there's so much there. You might want to start by, you mentioned, your practice as a clinical nutritionist. What about the healing and well-being books? And we know that anxiety is hugely on the increase, fear, worry. What kind of books do you have in terms of healing and well-being within that spiritual context?
Yeah, well, I have brought a few books with me, so I did bring some of the healing and well-being ones to show you all. So we have quite a few bookend CD sets on healing, because the meditation commentaries, the guided commentaries, are an important part of that process of healing in different ways. So we do have, well, I'll show you. So we do have different books for different types of healing, if you like. So if we've got an illness or, you know, something that we need to overcome in terms of our physical health, this is a fantastic book. This was actually created. So this is by Margaret Pinkerton. It comes with there's two CDs with the guided commentaries that go with it.
And moving on.
This is called Moving On.
Moving on.
And then the CDs are Moving On 1 and Moving On 2. And it was actually created to help people with terminal illnesses. But it can be used for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being by using meditation and positive concepts like this. So it really explains a lot about our creating a positive attitude and understanding towards healing, towards working towards healing, and a lot of use of visualizations and that type of things in healing the body. And then we have other healing books and CDs, say like this one, by Dr. Roger Cole, and this is called Healing Heart and Soul. Also has a CD or MP3, and this is really about healing our heart, healing our grief, if there's been any type of loss or sorrow. And I used this book many years ago. It has a second section in it, which is a 60-day course for healing, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's like 2 pages, and you go through, read 2 pages for 60 days, and use the guided commentaries as well. So yeah, so we have those type of things. We have quite a few others too, like that are book and CD guided commentary sets in the healing range.
Fantastic. What about your other books, Amanda? What's in range there? The other kind of books that you have. You mentioned one, I think, was it New Beginnings at the commencement of Youniverse this evening, which has the Raj Yoga meditation course. What else are you offering there in terms of enhancing your spiritual journey?
Yeah, so we have quite a few books that offer the philosophy and the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris. So different course books, if you like, that go through their foundational course, their beginner's course, their advanced course, positive thinking courses, that type of thing. So that's for people who are really interested in a spiritual path. They talk about also not just the meditation and philosophy, but also about just different aspects of leading a spiritual lifestyle, which is, not for everyone, but for those who are interested in that, they're fantastic resources. And then we have, as I mentioned, we have the kids range of books and CDs for kids and teenagers, which I wish I had when I was a kid, and especially a teenager. Many people may feel the same way. I did bring in some of my favorite ones, if I can show them up on the screen. So one of them is this book, A to Z Challenge.
Right. Yep.
And this is for teenagers. And can I just read the synopsis?
Yeah, please do.
On that? Yeah. So the A to Z Challenge: go from negative to positive alphabetically and shift. For things to change, somebody somewhere has to start acting differently. Why not start with you? the thing is, we're all creatures of habit. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you always get. Negative habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. To make the shift easy and fun, here's a collection of ideas to dip into. Open one page and be inspired. And so it goes through, different negative traits to overcome. So P is for alphabetically, P is for pessimist, Q is for quibble, S is for superficial, Y is for yap, stopping yapping and listening to other people, that type of thing. J is for jealousy. So that's just a fantastic book for young people, for teenagers, but of course, as adults can also get inspiration from those type of things. Again, we have some book and CD sets for teenagers and children that really aimed to peacetime for children, peacetime for teenagers, that teach kids how to meditate, how to connect with themselves, how to introduce positive thoughts, all of that, which I always find, like I was at the Mind Body Spirit Festival that you mentioned, and as soon as parents come up and they see the things for kids, they get very, very excited and very appreciative to have those type of things, because there's obviously a need. One of my very favorite kids books is The Little Sparkle in Me.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful, beautiful little book. It's got a fantastic message. As an adult, it takes 5 minutes to read, but you can read it very slowly to your little kids, and it has some colouring things in it as well. But yeah, it's just got a fantastic message for young kids that's very simple and very empowering.
So neat to have those sorts of resources available for our children and young people, isn't it? And to be able to
100%.
give them really positive messages, but also hope and confidence building, self-esteem building when there's a lot of challenge out there for children and our young people as well. So good on you, Amanda.
And I'll just mention one of my other favourites, because I believe we're going to get to play a commentary for this one, a short commentary.
Yes.
Okay, so this is I can open, maybe I'll open it out to be a bit clear. So this is called Floating Free. There we go, Floating Free. Yep. So this has 9 guided commentaries on that for young kids, and so like ages 7 to 12, and it's based on values-based education taught in Australian schools. So the values are doing your best, responsibility, freedom, care and compassion, respect, fair go, honesty, and understanding. And so each commentary creates a little narrative around that. And it's got beautiful background music, including some didgeridoo. And bird sounds, so it's very engaging for kids, and yeah, it's a fantastic little one. That one.
Let's do that, shall we? Why don't we have a commentary from the Floating Free album? What one would you suggest?
One of my favorites is Running a Fair Race. So this is the great Australian value of fair go. So it's very Australian, Running a Fair Race. I love it. Yeah, that would be a good one. Thank you.
Let's do that one, shall we? So again, we're just
sounds good.
Comfortably. Yeah. Bring in your children, young people. Make sure they get to listen to it too.
Or your inner child.
That's right. Yeah, bring on the inner child too. All right, let's go for it.
Close your eyes. Be still. Feel the tension leave your body. Imagine a bubble of light surrounding your whole body. You feel very relaxed and safe inside this bubble. Your whole body begins to feel light and free from any tension or negative thoughts. Rays of light enter your body from the bubble, starting at your head and moving down to your shoulders and arms. The light enters your chest and makes its way down your legs and through your feet. Everywhere the light has been, you feel relaxed and energized. Imagine that you're running a race. As you see yourself at the starting line, warming up for this race, you look around and see that this is no ordinary race. There are many different types of people in this race. Some are very young. Some are much older than you are. Some are in wheelchairs. Some have fair skin and some have dark skin. Some are male and some are female. Everyone is very friendly. An older man comes up to you and tells you that this race is won by the people who give others a fair go. Prizes go to those who help others and cooperate. The race begins. You stand back for a while and see others picking up the younger racers and putting them on their shoulders. Some of the older racers are being helped by the stronger racers. And the wheelchair participants are being pushed along when their arms get tired. There's a lot of laughter and fun in the air. This is a race where everyone wins. Who will you give a fair go? What prize will you win at the end of the race? When you feel ready, gently open your eyes, staying quiet and still.
What a neat way
Yeah.
to learn about inclusion and equity and accessibility. You know, what lovely way to learn about these important principles of daily living that we need to bring back into our world. So a great resource, isn't it?
Fantastic. And just the calming voice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
soothing.
yeah. It really helps with the visualization.
Yeah, and I was appreciating the background music as well. Like it's all connected, isn't it? The three elements creating a very
Yeah.
powerful and soothing meditation. Mm.
Yeah. So I mentioned the didgeridoo on that album. It's not on that particular commentary, but it is on some of the other commentaries. There's bird sounds and the didgeridoo. So it's very rich.
Yeah, indeed. Great resources for young people, teens, and as you say, the inner child, our inner child. Morning, you mentioned a little bit about lifestyle before. I'm wondering what you have in way of there's an increasing need for books on diet, and I know that the Brahma Kumaris move with a vegetarian diet, and living at a retreat centre here at the Blue Mountains. All our guests love the vegetarian food. What kind of books have you got that inspire people to cook vegetarian or eat vegetarian if they choose to, but also about the consciousness that we prepare food with?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good questions. Especially because we all love food. But yeah, we do have a series of books on vegetarian and vegan diet. So we recently did change one of our books from vegan to fully plant-based for those who are fully plant-based. And we do have a new book which is called Healthy Body, Healthy Soul, and this is for aimed for young people, to really help them understand about the looking after the health of their body, the impacts of the food they eat on themselves, on the environment. Talks about the whole process of digestion, how all of that works, if they have any issues around that. So that's a fantastic new addition that we've got. But yeah, so we have a fairly good, not a big range of cookbooks, but and the recipes are all created by home cooks. The one that we've put out now as a fully plant-based is created by a mum. And we have another one, Happy Hearts and Minds cookbook, that all the recipes, it's aimed for families, and all the recipes have been tried and tested on children and approved by children. So it's not always easy to get vegetables into kids, so that's big plus point for that one.
And they don't take forever to make, do they? The meals can be prepared lovingly and fairly quickly.
The one that's called the Shantivan cookbook, so that does a lot of recipes which are sort of a vegetarian or vegan take on typical Western meat-based meals, so like lasagna, that type of thing. So how to do a plant-based version of those favorite spaghetti bolognese, how to do a plant-based version of that. And they are easy, simple. You don't need a list of 20 ingredients, that type of thing.
Yeah. So this is actually an incredibly large range of books, all within a spiritual context, being offered here by Eternity Inc. You can go from health and healing to diet and lifestyle to exploring the gentle inner terrain of your meditation journey, and then going very deeply into different aspects of spiritual knowledge. And although Amanda hasn't mentioned it, I know how vast it is. It can go into concepts of karma and reincarnation, concepts of time, lots of books on values and so on. Is there anything else there in creativity, a lot of books on creativity? Is there any category I haven't mentioned there, Amanda?
Well, the one that was one of my favorite ones, poetry.
Oh, of course, poetry. Beautiful.
Poetry. So I do actually have my little book here because I have read this one, Faces of God.
Faces of God, yeah.
Yeah, so poems about love and God. So, we have a few books that sort of very poetic, and verses and things like that. It's not your typical go-to genre. And it wouldn't have been mine if I didn't have these books. If I wasn't involved in it, I wouldn't really think of poetry. But this one, I read a poem a day, and just introduced a lot of different thoughts and a lot of different ideas and ways of thinking about a higher being that I brought about more awareness and opened up my mind. So, and poetry is a beautiful way to do it, because it's like that commentary we just listened to, the kids one on Floating Free for Fair Go. Poetry is like just a very soothing, calm voice. It's not hard. It's not something you have to try and grasp, or you just read it and it's sort of I don't know, it's balm for your soul, if you like. But so poetry, try it out. It's yeah.
And they're very experiential. They're based on meditators' experiences of the divine.
Yeah, exactly.
Poems? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And that's why I think they that depth is there. And that feeling is there. You can get that feeling and that depth, and then you're kind of given that as a gift by that person through those poems or those words. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the one by Anthony Strano, The Alpha Point, and he actually was inspired to write that when he was in the in Assisi, in the, I guess you call it the tomb of Saint Clara, and I'd been in there, and it's incredibly still. And he was inspired to write that book in that place. So yeah, they come from a very creative and sacred space, don't they?
Yeah. Do you want, I don't know if we've got time, I can read a little one from the Faces of God if you like.
I'd love you to. Yeah,
Do
choose
you want
one
me to
and
read
let's have
one?
a reading. It'd be so nice to do that.
Okay, so this is also by Anthony Strano.
Okay, another one of Anthony's.
Yeah, so here, yeah. So this one is called Divine Astrologer. So this is the Faces of God, so Divine Astrologer. I walked into eternity the other day, and all I saw was just today. Holding the circle of time, eternity spins in your hands. The sphere of earth, the stage, spins and spins, and you comprehend the destiny of each actor. You perceive eternity through the window of each moment. Each actor creates destiny through character and choice. What is destined is simple, the reflection and the consequence of character and choice. In the moment of today, and only if I choose, I can create for myself another horoscope. For through another choice and another character, another destiny is born, which is eternal.
Wow. Lovely way to talk about the predestined and the free will, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's just it's a great way to start the day.
Very rich indeed. And as I recall, beautifully illustrated.
Yeah, that's right. It's got beautiful watercolors throughout it, and it's very, very nice and colorful.
Let's do another meditation, shall we? There's such a range of books there, that from overcoming fear, worry, anxiety, moving into creating self-esteem, and as I mentioned before, going very deeply into aspects of spiritual knowledge. But one of the tracks that I think are beautiful is on Healing Heart and Soul, and you referenced that book. So why don't we listen to one of those? I think Being of Love.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Let's go for that one then.
Yeah,
so again,
Being of Love,
just sitting comfortably and allowing yourself to turn within and flowing with the commentary. And if, as Amanda said, if your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the commentary.
I accept myself now. My past, my aspirations, my hopes, my dreams, my achievements, and my mistakes all merge within the present moment. I relax into who I am. I accept myself as I am. I tune into the silent stillness of my being and connect with the original qualities of my spirit. gentleness, strength, happiness. With gentleness, I live a life of love, not control, love. I have the strength to pursue my own journey, to find truth, and to live truth. When I am at one with the love inside me, I experience happiness. In the pure simplicity of my spirit, I find only love. Not the desire to control or direct, but real love. A love that surrounds me in gentleness and acceptance, contentment and humility. I am love. I allow the experience of love, not seeking it externally, but recognizing it as part of my inner nature. I feel the power of this love uplifting me and awakening my innate divinity. I become love. I allow love to radiate through my spirit and reveal itself in my thoughts, my words, my actions. I observe without judgment, and I reveal love. I speak without arrogance, and I teach love. complexity, and I become love. As I become love, I become divine. I am divine, and my life expresses the pure gentleness of my spirit. I feel a deep sense of belonging to the world, and the world belonging to me. Through the power of my own divinity, I cooperate with love's task of revealing truth. And healing the world.
Another beautiful meditation commentary. Listeners, I hope you're flowing through these commentaries as Amanda and I are, and feeling the richness of the inner space and feeling soothed by these commentaries. Amanda, a great commentary, yes?
Yeah, that was a beautiful commentary, and this whole experience of creating this, getting in touch with my love, and creating these feelings of love and love for the world. And I think with those commentaries for people who experience meditators, you can really get into that, and it's such a beautiful experience. But I'll just say, for people who are starting out on meditation, and speaking from my own experience, you may listen to that commentary and you think, I can't connect with this. This is not me. And and that's one of the processes of meditation, is really discovering ourselves. And that's one of the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, which I was talking about, in terms of the spirituality, is it's really understanding our spiritual our spirit, getting dry throat, I'm not used to talking so much, our spiritual self, and the potential within us. And because I used to look at people and think, oh, how can they be so caring and loving? But so it's this whole discovery, and that's what meditation helps with. So at first you may feel your mind rejects it and you feel that's not me, but you will be pulled towards what is you. And when you start out on meditation, it is a process of discovery. And so if you want to meditate but your mind rejects certain concepts, then I would say start somewhere else, but it's worthwhile to go on the journey. That's my experience.
Yeah, I think that resonates with a few of us too. But and meditation comes from the Latin word meditere, which actually means to heal. And there within is the dark and the light. And And as we focus on the light within ourselves, the things that perhaps we can't see about ourselves originally or initially, like our own innate goodness, or being able to really love ourselves, being our own good friend, the more we do focus on that, then of course the darkness, the things, the negativities that we assume and consider ourselves to be fade away, and the goodness emerges. So it is a process, isn't it? And I love the way you've expressed that, Amanda, that there's points in a meditation that you might go, not really, but hold with it. And it unravels. It's such a gentle process of coming into our fullness and coming into the light, the full light that each one of us has the potential to be. And that's
beautifully put. That's spot on.
Look, we've showcased a lot of Eternity Inc.'s products, incredibly diverse range. And even though Amanda and I are not sporting the T-shirts, I can assure you that there's a lovely range of T-shirts and bags. And I love one of the sayings on the bags that goes something like, forget the baggage, but keep the bag. I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Forget the leave the something like that. Forget the baggage, keep the bag.
Keep the bag,
And we've just got these very hippie ones, these new hippie ones we've just imported from India, Peace of Mind, and they're very colourful.
They're very colourful.
Yeah.
So there's so much here, and these aids are so important on our spiritual journey to have them, and it's a unique publishing house, Eternity Inc. You won't find the depth of wisdom in these books, MP3s, songs, and so on, the cards, the posters, in any other publishing house. It's incredibly unique. But what else is unique about it? And this is really something important, that such beautiful resources that take you to a very beautiful place and space. And the prices are very honest. They're all not for profit. So the prices are actually very, very cheap. And I want to ask Amanda, how does Eternity Inc. function as a not-for-profit publishing house? I can see its benefit. It makes these resources that are invaluable, it makes them accessible to us all, irrespective of our socio-demographic background, a cultural whatever our background, it makes it accessible. But how does Eternity Inc. function as a not-for-profit publishing house, and it functions so successfully?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. Eternity Inc. is a not-for-profit. It's connected with a larger organisation. So I mentioned it's publisher for the Brahma Kumaris Australia, which is a registered charity. And so there's a couple of things, a couple of significant things that the way that it's run is, it is run by people like myself, who are meditators, and we've got a lot out of it, and so it's an opportunity for us to give back. And so in that, what I'm meaning to say is we're volunteers, so we're not paid for, it's not a paid job or work. We give our time and energy and talents voluntarily, and it's the same for many of the authors and artists and contributors, that they give things, they give their time, their talents, their voices, their beautiful writings without remuneration. And so so there's, and it's the overheads are minimal, if you like, and so we're able to offer the products in that way. Obviously there's a cost of production, but the product prices are good. The books start from $5, CDs start from, I think it's $6.95. The aim is, because it's a not-for-profit, nobody's making money out of it, but the aim is to share these products and make them available for people, so that they don't, people can access them, and you can go out and buy a soy latte for $5, or you can buy a meditation book for $5, so it makes them very accessible. There are some that are a little bit more pricey, and that's because they're ones that we've imported, and they have all the on costs to get them into the country. Yeah, so a little bit more of an investment on those ones, like $25, $30 prices like that.
But still an incredibly cheap price for the quality of the book, or the quality of the research you're receiving.
Yeah, 100%. And that's definitely been the focus since the inception of the publishing houses, that the products are both quality in content and in physical output. So people can be assured that they are receiving good quality products that, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I find that to be truly honest, actually, that it's not for profit in that real way. And I often think that whenever I purchase something from Eternity Inc., and a great place to go for gifts for others, Christmas time, birthdays, celebrations, acknowledgements, whatever, but also an opportunity for you to explore your own needs, knowing that it's affordable, and that whenever there's a purchase made, I often think of it as being a gift for someone else. It's keeping Eternity Inc. going, allowing it to almost like keeping it going means that it's available to others. So it's a lovely thought pattern.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's such a, like, for me, it's such a great place to work because it is an opportunity to give back. It's a creative space, it's a learning space. I'm connected with it in my personal life because I practice meditation, but it's a great space. So we also have people volunteering. They come and put together the kits and assemble the snakes and ladders games, all the little pieces, putting them in the bags and all that type of stuff. And that's all by volunteers. Yeah.
And those kits are learn how to meditate kits, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah.
The learn how to meditate kits. We've got a question from our audience, Amanda. So if I could just pitch that before we close. It's saying, how do I publish with Eternity Inc.? What's the criteria, and who do I contact to discuss the details?
Okay, so, whoever you are out there, you're very welcome to contact myself. Very easy email to remember, amanda@eternityinc.com.au. We are a publisher for the Brahma Kumaris, so we do publish the Brahma Kumaris content. So most of the authors and artists are writing about, the Brahma Kumaris offerings, the teachings, the commentaries, that type of thing. So, but definitely send me an email and let me know what you have in mind, and we can talk about it.
Amanda, it's been a wonderful hour and a half with you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your secrets about the best publishing house in the Antipodes. That's Eternity Inc. It's with a lot of blessings and love to you, Amanda, for your selfless spiritual contribution and your team to our communities, arming them with loads of spiritual resources at accessible and affordable prices, so that people can successfully navigate their inner and their outer journey. So, Amanda, thanks for joining us on Youniverse this evening. It's been really wonderful having you with us.
Thank you. And thank you, Gabrielle. It was really nice to chat. And we have created a special coupon surprise for your viewers. Yeah, I wanted to see that nice surprise look on your face. So we've got a discount code. So if anybody out there does want to purchase anything, we have a special discount code. And if you can write it down, it's all in capital letters with no spaces. And it is simply Lucky Day. So LUCKYDAY. And that will give you a grand 25% off anything that you would like to try out. Thank you, Gabrielle. It was really, really lovely to speak with you. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. It was really nice to showcase something that's close to my heart. So thank you.
Yeah, I can feel that too. Lovely work. Thanks so much, Amanda. So that's Lucky Day, and Jan will put that in the chat for you. And that's on the online bookshop. Of course, and I'm going to tell you about that in a moment, but of course there are physical outlets as well, which I never got a chance to ask Amanda about, but there are physical outlets at all of the Brahma Kumari centres, the big main centre at 5 Dock here in Sydney. So the code, Lucky Day, that's for the online bookshop, but and you might like to browse our online bookshop, Eternity Inc. We've been showcasing the range of books, and Pete's going to put up the takeaway slide any moment now, but a whole range of books and MP3s and so on. We've gone through those tonight, just fantastic. All at not-for-profit prices. And there's the email address there as well if you want to contact Amanda. Now, if you'd like to subscribe to Open Your Eyes to the Universe to receive monthly updates, then please email us at special.events@au.brahmakumaris.org. And finally, our next episode of Open Your Eyes to the Universe is on Saturday, the 26th of August, and it's at 6 p.m. AEST. So as we close out tonight, Eternity Inc. have a good range of music and uplifting songs, as we've said, in both CD and MP3s. But we're going to be playing one from the album Bliss by Lucinda Drayton, and it's called Be Who You Were Born to Be. So until we see you again online on the 26th of August, 2023, take care. Walk lightly on this earth. Focus on your inner journey and thereby enrich your outer journey and supplement it with some of those gorgeous Eternity Inc. resources. Om Shanti.